Hi folks, life is feudal, Forest Village, and here we are, spring year 169, population of 487 happy villagers. Well, I can't actually guarantee they're happy, but I do have 487 villagers. I know this dude right here is not being very happy with the plague, and that tells me that because I've been getting a steady supply of one or two people getting the plague every couple years or something like that, and this dude's living here, and that means I need to get some more crypts, funeral pyres, or tombstones out there. So I got to start thinking about that and making sure that my village is covered. Actually, that one does cover where he died. He did die around this area. Or not die, but picked up the plague. Somewhere around in here is where this dude picked it up, I think. I could be completely wrong. No, I am completely wrong because he's way out here. But, I don't know. Anyway, I gotta deal with that. And then let's go ahead and look at what we've done over here. We've got a really good start on this little expansion. Put a school here and upgraded that already to deal with this huge little well, not huge, but a population boost with these 3 hostels sitting here. And I am going to place 2 more back here, back behind it, back by this bathhouse. But before I do that, I've been needing to add another caravan stables, and that leads to a question that I had received from Benzie MH. Had asked about the caravan, and yeah, so I'm going to go into that a little bit. It's a mod that I'm using, but I've been kind of waiting until I got this. Let me focus up here just a little bit. I want a 3 space gap here between these hostels and whatnot, since these buildings are so large. Having only 2 spaces in between them, they actually end up bumping into each other. So they've got to be 3 spaces apart, or they start clipping into the roof. Doesn't matter if they do. I mean, I could put it right up against it, but just for visuals, I'm gonna let it sit out like that. So okay, once I get this all finished up and everything like that, we'll talk about this caravan extended mod just briefly. Honestly, I probably am only using a small portion of that mod. I only use the, yeah, I'll explain it when I do shortly. But there's a lot more to this mod that I'm using. Oh, also I want to show something over here. See if they're doing it yet. Yeah. Now these are the culinary herbs that I got from that seed package. And when I had it planted in a different field, the model of the plants was much different. This is using all the natural wild plants that you see just kind of growing around out in the forest. So I think this looks 100 times better than the other model. Awesome. Well, let's crank it up just a little bit and let them get finished up with that donkey caravan. Oh, we got completely severed from the island of nowhere, and so that's just sitting there doing nothing, waiting for some Vikings to come raid it, hopefully. Excuse me. And then we've got some expeditions going. All I'm doing right now is sending out for donkeys, and that's just for the Steam achievement. You know, you have to do like 50 expeditions to get that achievement. So at this point, I'm just going to be sending out expeditions for donkeys, and in order to do that, you have to have a caravan stable, and you have to have one open slot in one of your caravan stables. So if this was all filled up, I would not be able to select this this cattle icon in the port. This icon would disappear once the caravan stables fill up. Alright, then over here in this little area, I added a little furnace there and some more kilns for that tasty charcoal, and didn't move it, we just added another sawmill. And here's where I placed that castle smithy that I had taken down from over in that area. So yeah. Alright folks, finish up with that road and this donkey caravan. Oh, and this is just for the achievement as well, for the Steam achievement. You gotta build like 50,000 square meters of pasture. And so all I'm going to be doing to achieve that is building a pasture and tearing it down, building a pasture and tearing it down. Little by little, work on that achievement. And hopefully in this episode we're going to reach a population of 500 and get that achievement. I think it's the League. Yeah. Or maybe it's called a Legion. I don't remember. Oh well. We'll be back once this caravan is finished. And just a quick look with the culinary herbs fully growing. Very good looking crop. Why are these guys just standing there? Why aren't they doing something? They just waiting for it to grow or something? Why didn't he... Huh. I guess growing conditions were perfect and he didn't need to do anything. Because now he's doing something. Alright, how are they coming along on this? Still delivering the items. Alright. Okay, they finished that caravan stable. But real quick, right before I go over there, just an update on that slope tolerance mod. This building clipping into the ground just a tiny little bit. I think it looks wonderful though in comparison to the terraforming that would have had to have been done there to get that building to fit. And then this castle smithy, I was originally going to place it over here, but the way that the model, this section of the model was cutting into the ground, to where, I mean, it would have been fine. It still would have been a functional building and everything like that, but most of this stuff was underground and it kind of looked a little bit crummy. So that's one of the downsides to the to that mod. Is, you know, you kind of cut into the model a little bit and can make it look worse in some cases. But overall, in comparison to the terraforming that would have to be done to get this building to sit there, this looks a million times better. Oh, and then also I've done some terraforming all around in this area, just kind of smoothing the ground out and whatnot. Cool. Alright, donkey caravan. Alright, well, first let's load it up with some donkeys. Come on over here. And let's get some workers in it. Okay, now two things that you can do with it right off is in the options you can change the number of workers that you can put in there. You can add more workers, and then also you can add more routes. I believe stock it allows you to do 5 routes, and I've changed it to do 10 routes. And everything in here is the same. But what I use it for is to evenly distribute important items like food and charcoal and tools and clothing. So let's do charcoal. So we're gonna work from this barn to this barn here, and I want it to be evenly distributed, that the same amount of charcoal is in this one as is in this one, and the same with all of them. Now, and I'll explain that, or at least attempt to. Okay, so let's pick up some charcoal. Everything functions just like normal, except in here. This is where you can start manipulating things here. By clicking this number here, I can change this, and I'm assuming that it means that it's going to move 1 to 1 in this direction. This will tell me it's going to keep 1 to 1. You know what, actually, the one right before that, I'm not exactly sure what that meant, but this one right here, this one is going to keep an even distribution between these two and balance out to where these two will eventually be the same number. And now the way that I've got it set up in all of my routes here is they will pick up from, let's just say I'm going to start at this barn right here, pick up from this barn, drop off at this barn here, and keep it evenly distributed. And then another donkey will pick up from this barn, drop off at that barn, and keep it evenly distributed. See these numbers, 1387, 1387. And then another donkey picks up from this barn, takes it to this barn, evenly distributes it. And you do that with each one of your barns. Now I've got a total of 8 castle barns. So there'll be a total of 8 routes, and that will complete the loop as long as you include each one of your barns, or whatever it is or something in your warehouse, whatever you're shifting around. It will keep it all relatively evenly distributed. Depending on, like, these two numbers, I'm down here in the lower left. In this barn we've got 1468 versus the 1356. This barn here at the 1468 is probably closer to, a bunch of kilners, and so they're constantly dumping, more charcoal into that barn. So yeah, okay, so that should start balancing out little by little. Oh, probably would if I took the game off pause. And then I'm going to do that with every essential piece that I want to keep distributed. So I want these folks to have fish, so we'll get some fish out there and keep that evenly distributed. Oh, and I'll go over some of this a little bit more. Let me set this up real quick. And this is kind of, hopefully it's not too boring. Oops, let's click the right thing. And let's see, I want to distribute also fruit. I want to distribute my vegetables. And I want to distribute high quality tools and warm clothing. Alright, I think that is all the essentials, all the basics, that the basic foods. Cool. Alright, now let me experiment This is about as far as I've gotten with the mod, to be honest with you. I haven't done much more than that. Now I know there's a lot of other functions that you could do, and I would encourage you to explore those. And also there's more info available on the mod description page, in the Steam Workshop. Hang on, let me get focused here for a second and get caught up, make sure everybody's doing what they should be doing, not doing what they shouldn't be doing. Okay, now I'll cycle through some more of these options that that mod can give us. Alright, so this is just gonna shift 1,000 items from here to there. I'm assuming it might mean that just keep 1,000 in this barn and shift everything else over to the other barn. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that one means. Or that one. And again, this is probably all available in the descriptions of the mod. I've admitted that I'm only using a very, very small portion of what this mod offers, and yeah, I'm just going to share what little I know. Okay, so that's clicking on the right side, and you can change some other options by clicking on this left side. Okay, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1. And I'd have to experiment with what exactly those ratios mean. I'm going to guess in this particular one right here, one here to every 10 over on this side. Alright, cool. Now let's get it back to 1 to 1, and then right now that's how we want it. We want 1 to 1 back and forth. So that's the little I know about the Caravan Extended mod. Awesome mod, though. I mean, if you're gonna have a larger village, you're gonna need this mod, in my opinion. I mean, this just makes things so much easier. You just set it up, and I mean, every once in a while you can check it just to make sure everything is still getting distributed and all that, but it's a solid mod. It works wonderful. I love it. Alright, let me tear down some more of these mines. I'm glad to get some of these emptied out. And I was going to say clear space over here to lay the let's go ahead and get another pasture going. Just a temporary dummy pasture there. Alright, let's go ahead and get some more hostels in here, because we want population of 500. See here, I'll lay this right up next to this one here. See it three spaces apart. Even that top beam on the roof touches just barely. 2 spaces, it starts clipping. 1 space, it's really clipping. Alright, yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care. Okay, get that down, boys and girls. Get some workers on that one. Excuse me. Now, something I'm noticing quite a bit is becoming more and more blatant of a problem, and that's just the way the AI chooses where to place workers. Somebody living in this house where, let me find it. There it is. Somebody living in this house may get assigned to doing the job that's furthest away from them, even though there are available laborers that could do that job that are much closer to that job. The game's AI still can choose somebody that's just not practical at all. It's just completely bad. And so I'm almost reaching my limit as far as like how far out I can spread. I mean, I can spread a little bit more, I think. I think maybe like out to this range, and then from this point on, it's just going to be all about being able to tolerate the dozens and dozens of deaths every year from people just dying from walking to work. You know, I'm going to freeze to death walking home from work because the computer, the AI, just can't figure out where to put you. That's not good. That's not good at all. So that is got me thinking that in order to try to squeeze as much people into as small a space as possible, I may have to start tearing, you know, these houses down and replacing these with the hostels. The hostel takes the same footprint as the house, but can house 22 people versus the 12. So it can definitely fit a lot more people in a smaller amount of space. Yep. Alright, I'm going to lay another hostel. And I'm even thinking about putting another bath there as well, even though if I place that hostel right there, it's still, even if I placed it here, out here, that's still in the area of effect. You know what, I'm going to place it here and let me look at this for a little bit. Yeah, an update here for early spring year 170. We now have 509 living locations. This hostel is complete. They are still working on this bathhouse, and they are upgrading this hostel. And I have gone ahead and decided to start tearing down some of the small houses and replacing them with hostels. Yeah, I'm gonna have to if I ever want to get close to getting all the Steam achievements for this game. Let's do our shift change. I'm a little late doing that. Kind of spaced it. Not kinda, but I really did space it. Still banging away on my temporary pastures. And let's see, yeah, they finished all of this out here. They finished that bathhouse, they sure did. Good for them. Hard-working villagers. Yeah, cool. I faced this one inward. Well, faced it towards us, and then this one faced away, or now towards us. Not entirely sure why I did that. And got these two houses down. Stop dying, people. I want to get to 500. Alright, yeah, and got the hostel started there. Let's get that window, keep it open so we can upgrade it as soon as they're finished. And then when they're finished upgrading this, I'll find another house to tear down and replace with a hostel. So maybe these two will be next. I don't know. But right now we're just waiting on some babies to be born. Come on, 3 more babies. 3 more babies. And we got another expedition out and about. And hopefully I'm getting to close to being about halfway done with that achievement. Man, 50 expeditions, that's a lot. It's going to take forever. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Ah, man, people keep dying. There's a new game on the horizon I've kind of got my eye on. It's in alpha testing right now, I believe. Ostriv. I may be mispronouncing that. I've only watched a couple of YouTube videos on it, and it looks okay. A little cartoony. Maybe not cartoony, but just nowhere near as pretty as this game. But it looks like it has a little bit of a better UI, and yeah, might be a little bit more user friendly. I'm not really sure, but alpha is still a little early for me. I think I might wait a little bit longer and let them get a couple more updates, and I'll be following the game, see what's up with it, and maybe switch over to that. I've got to start looking at something else, just because I don't think I can continue this series too much longer, just because of the lack of oh wait, no, I don't want to build a field because of the AI and all that stuff, everything that I've discussed about them not being able to figure out where to place jobs and all that stuff. How are we doing over here? We're getting close. 498, 498. And of course, one died, one got added. 499, we're almost there. We're gonna do it. 500, I'm gonna get a Steam update here soon, hopefully. Come on, parents, get busy, have some babies. There it is, right there. Achievement unlocked. Bum ba da dum bum 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 bum. Bum ba da dum bum 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 bum. I'm doing a little dance, by the way, in case you were wondering. Da 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 da. 500 people in my village. Right on. Alrighty, one last mine to take down, and I am going to be done with mining for a while. A good long while. But I could use some more trees. I'll take some more trees. Let's chop some trees down. How we doing over here? Did it give us those funky models? Those cool models full of culinary herbs? They sure did. I like that. I don't like that. No, don't like that at all. Alright, folks. We did it. 505. Man, I'm going to get a big old boom in population. Big rush in population. I need to start thinking about possibly some more orchard fields, or more orchards and fields. Yeah, maybe even a couple more bakers out here. But I definitely foresee, at least three hostels right here. I think I can get 3 more hostels right here and still get in the area of effect. At least 2 more. Alright, folks, really appreciate you stopping by. It's been great having you. I hope you have a super duper awesome day, and I hope to see you tomorrow.